welcome back to our channel. Today I'm still alone, guys. Edith is still not feeling well, so I'll be doing this alone. So what I want to talk about today, if you on our previous videos we talked about village life, but we never talked about city life. You know, like we've come to the city, to town, so the contrast from the village. So today that is what I'm actually doing. So I just want to compare, like, growing up in the village and actually now that I've been to the city, I have experienced a few things. How is life in the city compared to how it was, how it is in the village? Yes. Guys, I have some guys on the background, so don't worry about the noise and people talking. So my first point about the comparison between the two is exposure. Like those who've grown up in the city, in town, there's a lot of exposure. There's so many avenues to get information. There's so many places to go visit, to go see. Like, you get exposed to new things. They watch TV. By the village, TV, it's those funny programs you can't be allowed to watch. But in the city, people watch TV. Like, kids watch TV all the time. They watch cartoons. They learn English. Man, I think I remember I started talking. I'm speaking in English when I was in class 4, because I think when I was in class 1, I used to think people used to say, let's boundary and play and pray. Kumbe is let's bow down and pray. Oh, Jesus. So exposure, like in the village, there's not much exposure. Like, it's so limited in terms of also information, in terms of people to tell you things that actually like inspire you. They're very limited, very few. But in town, that's the order of the day. Exposure 24/7. So that's one comparison. Then number 2, in the village, a kid is not yours alone. Like at CG, you are Nani's child, so nobody else should meddle in your affairs. In the village, that one is order of the day. If Mama Nani gets in a compromising situation, Emma, you've done a mistake, she will just punish you without even asking your parents. Then she'll come and tell your parents, well, I found your child doing this and this at a certain place, I punished her. And your mother will be like, okay, cool, thank you. But in the city, you touch somebody's kid, but there it's going to be trouble, especially those who live in those rented apartments. You can't just punish somebody's kid even to at least you found the kids messing up and you just decided to punish. It's trouble. In the village, it takes a village to raise a kid. That phrase of it takes a village to raise a kid is actually true. But in town, or in the city, one man show. Your parents are the ones who are responsible for you. Nobody else cares about what you do. So even if you want to go get drunk and actually sleep in the trenches, nobody will even care. Your parents are the ones who will look for you. Maybe your friends, because just friends. But some other parent to actually correct you, no, that one is not there. And another thing, opportunities. Like in the city, there are a lot of opportunities to make money. Like opportunities, they're all over. A lot of jobs to do that you can make money. This nowadays there are things they call writing, online stuff. How you can sell your things on Facebook and actually make money. But in the village, people know you have to be a teacher, you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be an engineer to make money. They don't know at TE, you don't work and you earn money. How? Even your parent, maybe if you finish campo, like for some of us, and you actually don't have like a government job, you don't have a specific job at this certain company, and you're working and you're paying your bills, your mother will be like, unafanyanga nini? At writing, what is that? is it illegal? You know, they always think things are illegal, you know. So even if you are like an engineer, your parents want you to go and look for that engineering job, and you tell them that you are doing just some online things to pay bills. They don't understand. So you see, but in the city, anything as long as it can make you money, people will do it. Like opportunities are all over. If you just, people can make mandazi from their house and go sell. You know, just small jobs that you cannot do in the village because people will be like, mtoto anani anafanya nini hii sasa. But in town, people don't care. You do you make money however way you want. You want to also steal? That didn't come from me. Aha. And then another thing, crime. But then in town, I mean in the city, there's a lot of crime. That's why I'm saying, like, as much as there are opportunities, there are also opportunities for you to be a criminal. Because, like, if you don't have a job, you don't have a way to make money, and you still have to pay bills, guys, what do you expect? And people are so many, and then the opportunities, people are crowding and actually scrambling for those small opportunities that are there. So there's a lot of crime, especially amongst the youths. But in the village, people know each other. So if something gets lost, they just say, ni mtoto wa nani, you know. Ati, your cow is lost. They tell you, just go and ask kina nani. Because they are known. You know, in the village, the criminals, they are known in their family. They know that family is for night runners. They know the family for witchcraft. They know the family for criminals. Then they know the family for good people who are Christian. Then they know the strict family. So, in the village, you can't just misbehave and think that people don't know. They know. In fact, they assist the chief and the village elder will just come to your house and say, ng'ombe nani ilipotea, do you have anything to do with that? So if you don't, maybe. But they still, as in the village, crime is very less because of that. They know each other, kind of nyumba kumi kind of initiative, I think. So, but in cities, crime is all over. Like, people can just rob you. And then the worst thing, another thing, people don't care. Somebody can be in the street being robbed, and people are just passing. They're just looking at you like you're crying out for help. They're like, ah. And they're going, and your phone has been stolen, and they don't care, and they have gone because they don't know if you are you're the one who is screaming, you are the criminal also in the nini. Oh. Guys, like I was saying, in the village, crime is very like minimal because people know each other. But in the cities, people just steal from you. Imagine, even your friend can steal from you because people have to pay bills and needs have to be met. So even your friend can plot with they're called what, those criminals, and just steal from you. Imagine, and tomorrow she'll be like, Ama, he'll be like, ulibiwa, I'm so sorry. And actually is part of it, you know. People don't have hearts. Not all of them, guys, but majority. Then another thing, in the village, there's a bit of family values. Like, people still value family and have respect for family. But in the city, people don't care. You can be living in a flat, you're living on first floor, I mean on like third floor with your spouse, and your co-wife is on fourth floor. Imagine. And life continues. People don't care. But in the village, people will be like, you know, this is not right, this is not according to traditions, according to, you know, it's, you know, that kind of thing. It's a good thing, by the way. In the village, people at least have some sense of family values and they respect marriages. But in the city, people don't really care much. As in, I think because of the living standards and needs, people, they'll fuck over whoever they'll fuck over as long as their bills are being paid. So that's another thing I've realized about living in the city. And then another thing, in the city, by the way, if you don't have money, you can't survive. Because there's nothing for free. You're living in somebody's house, you have to pay rent. Your food, you have to buy food, you have to buy water, you have to buy everything. There's nothing like you can get for free. But in the village, you can go to Akina Nani and they give you vegetables, they give you mboga, they give you flour, you come and pick your ugali and eat. As in the village, if you don't have money, it's not really a big deal as long as there's food, because you can always borrow from your neighbor and there's no big deal. They just, they give you, they just welcome you to, go and eat with them, and it's not that big of a deal because food is readily available. But in the city, since people are buying, even your relatives who are in the city, come on, they don't want you to go and visit them. They just, you don't come to visit. Like, let me tell you, when you go, like 2 days, they're like, unga ilikuwa iende 1 month, for 2 weeks. And actually living in the city, I've realized why our relatives in the city never wanted people to go visit them. If you go visit, they don't want you to stay for long. Man's life is expensive because you're buying everything. Imagine. Yeah, you have, in fact, you can, in the village, another thing alafu pia in the village, you can just wake up and go visit someone without even calling them, letting them know you are coming. You're actually passing, you're going on your way, and then you realize, hey, Kina Nani lives here. And then you pass by and say hi and actually eat. In the city, you have to call. In fact, you have to call like 2 weeks. Some of them 2 weeks in advance. They plan for you. They buy food specifically for you because they believe people from the village, they eat a lot. So, you have to give them a notice that you're coming. Don't just show up, and then people are working. They are busy. They're not even at home. So you can't just show up at nilikuwa nimekuja tu kuwatembelea. It doesn't work. No. That one doesn't work in the city. Another thing, life in the city is very fast. Have you guys ever walked in town and you're like, where are these people going? They're in a hurry. They're actually, brushing your shoulders over when they're walking in town so fast. In the morning, at lunchtime, the evening, people are busy. Like, the world is very fast in the city, but in the village, just wake up, go to the shamba, come back home, clean, and very slow. Life is slow and in a pressure. You get my point. Like, there's no much pressure in the village because what are we competing for? If it's food is there, like if it's, but I don't know how to explain this, but I know you guys get the point. But in the city, vitu ni haraka. Like, you slacky, vitu visha happen. Like, you wake up today, fashion changed, things changed. In fact, even the government changed, and you didn't even know if you're that slow in the city. City ni chap. You don't want people who have slow minds. Uko ni kufikiria haraka. Because you slacky kidogo, your phone is gone. You slacky kidogo, your handbag is gone, and nobody cares. So, have to be very, very, very vigilant. Another thing, in cities, in the city, there's a sense of fashion. People know how to dress. People know how to look nice, to impress. But in the village, people wear just anything, as long as it's decent, because that's the much they care about. As long as it's decent, they don't want to really pay attention to the fact that this top didn't go with this skirt. This skirt should have gone with that, this scarf, you have to tie it in a certain way for it to look nice. Somebody can wear an animal print at the bottom and wearing a flower top on top, and nobody cares. But in the city, people have to impress, people have to look good. So there's fashion, then people look nice, they smell nice, there's colognes, there's perfume, there's nice lotion. The village, Lady Gaga, it's called Lady Gaga, it's called what, that lotion, Lady Gay, that one of 1960 something. Those weird lotions, Cobra, sijui who, sijui what, sijui Neem, those funny lotions. Then unapaka unaparana kama mamba. Imagine, and you have applied mafuta, But what I'm saying is, like, there's a bit of sense of fashion. People looking nice and slaying and nini. But in the village, you do you. In fact, with me, when I go home, I just walk barefoot. No big deal. I just wear a t-shirt, and some weird looking jeans. In fact, those ugly jeans of mine, I take them home because that's where I wear them. I know it's really, that's life, guys. Another thing, it's called congestion. Like there's so many people in the city because most people come from the village to come to the city to look for jobs. So in the village there are no people, but Huku there are so many people. They're crowded. There are very many flats, tall buildings, and all of them are occupied. But then, like in the city, if you're in real estate business, you'll never lack clients. They are all over. Like people are, they're ever like streaming. Those Mbokinyas and those easy coaches, those that go up country, they are ever full because people are coming to look for jobs, look for opportunities, you know, just to try and make ends meet. And people believe when you go to the city, that's when you're going to look for a job. But in the village, you're not looking for a job, like you're comfortable. And another thing also, there's comfort in the village. You know, in the village, if you have a job that earns you like 5 Gs, you're set for life. Because rent is 200 bob or 500. That's actually a bed sitter, or 2500 a 1 bedroom. You know. So if you have 5 Gs, in fact like 10 Gs, you can live in a 2-bedroom house that has water, and you know, like imagine, guys, you should go back and live in the village, you know. So like in the village, real estate is very slow. People don't understand that they have to pay rent on time. My dad had some rentals and people stay for like 6 months without paying rent. It is just nice. He's just talking to them nicely. I'm like, Dad, what is wrong with you? You know, there's this person who stayed for 1 year without paying rent. Okay, guys, the village, by the way, people can really take advantage. Imagine you are their landlord. They're still borrowing you money. They're still borrowing you food, and I'm not literally not paying your rent. Village life. And then finally, education. Like in the villages, people don't really take much like serious education. Like they don't pay so much attention to it. Somebody just drops out in class 2 and goes and starts maybe doing business. Amma drops out in class 6 and gets married. Amma drops out in class 8 and starts a motorbike business. As in, that seriousness when it comes to education is not really there. But in the city, people believe education is the thing. Like, I have to go to school, because if I don't go to school, I can't make it in this life. Even though it's not a must that you go to school and get a job after that, but that knowledge, people just want to be knowledgeable. They want to know things. They are curious about things, so they want to learn. But in the village, it's not that. Education is not that very, very, very serious. I know you get the point. So if you have kids, I don't think it's good if you take them to those village schools, and because even teachers in those schools, some of them they go to school when they feel like. They report at a lesson is at 8, it is coming at 11. Some of them are drunk, you know, those, you get the point. So education is not really very, very serious as compared to how it is in cities, in developed areas. So guys, those were the points I have for the comparison between city life and village life. So if you, from the two worlds, please comment down below and let me know what you think, the experiences you've had from both worlds. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, and like, comment, and share with your friends. So that's what I had for today. See you in our next video. Bye.